everybody, and you are tuned in once again to the Blitz Morning Show. Don't mind that. My name is Toby Brendel, and I will be your host for the next little while on this beautiful foggy day in Saskatchewan. Yes, once again, we have frickin' fog. What is it? It's been foggy probably for 5 days, and it sucks, especially when you're on the highway, because nobody knows what to do in the fog. You have young, cocky guys with beefed up trucks that think, oh yeah, I can pass this guy in the fog, and then all of a sudden, boom, vehicle, ah! So there's me hitting my brakes, that guy's pulling over so he doesn't hit the guy in front. Then he laughs, and I'm like, oh, that little jackass. Or you have semis that do the exact same thing, then try pushing off the road. Assholes. Anyway, let's kind of boogie on to the show. Let's start about anything and everything. Okay, so far, I'm kind of disappointed. Kim from QC Indie never sent in his questions, but I did ask 2 other people to send in questions. They actually were pretty good. Well worth it. But before I do, I got to touch on something. My microphone is sticky. It's not what you think. I pulled it out of the compartment underneath the passenger seat, and for some odd reason, it is very sticky. This absolutely sucks. Which leads to the next thing. Alright, so I'm still moving. It's been quite a while. Can't figure it out. I'm working my ass off just trying to make it. But what I figured is that with me moving, it gives me a new opportunity to make a studio in the basement of my new place where I can, get interviews, get a better sound, mixer, better button bar, instead of having the one that I have right now. Anywho, until Saturday night? I started putting stuff in the basement, and I'm looking going, the spot where I wanted my studio is right beside the furnace. I can't do that. So, my idea for a studio might actually be out of the plan just because of where I want it, so I got to think of something else. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I would love to have it at home, but at the same time, I might actually have to break loose and find a studio somewhere else, maybe down at work, because I do want to give you guys a better opportunity for having a better show, like with Alex B. If you want to know who he is, just go on our RSS feed. You can go on iHeartMedia, you can go on iTunes, you can even go on the Spreaker app and actually click, and there's 2 episodes. There was like a 15-minute one and a littler one. A longer one of like 45 minutes. Click on both of them, then you'll actually get to see who Alex B is. Sad thing is, the quality is a little bit horrible, because what we were doing was, as we were driving, like we normally do, we had the phone in between, and that's what we basically did to record the show. So quality is a little bit bad, but you do get to see who Alex is, and as well as me, working with somebody else. It's quite interesting. It's not bad, but I do want Alex to be a part of the show a lot more. Great guy. His personality and my personality, we do click, so I figure that's going to be a strong benefit for us and also for you, because instead of having me ramble on and on about nothing and everything and having every show as a tangent, maybe we can have topics that we could talk about. It's a possibility. Anything is possible. I could give an example, but I'm not going to. All right, let's kind of mosey on to question call, which is sponsored by QC Indie. Where is it? Okay. So Jim Mallard from the Mallard Report, you can find his show, which talks about ghosts, UFOs, the unexplained, things like that. Conspiracies once in a while. You can follow him at Mallard on Twitter, or you can actually go onto his website at mallard.com. Great guy. Check his shows out. He's one of the hardest working podcasters that I know, and he actually works for it. But his question is, you going to Mars? In my lifetime, dude, impossible. Because I'll probably be able to see the rocket taking off. I'll follow it to Mars. But by the time they establish some kind of life form that stays there, that grows, works, etc., by the time that they'll be basically saying, okay, let's go to Mars, everybody. Let's hop on these rockets. 9 months. Let's get there. Let's grow it. It's going to be past my time. And plus, besides, with the way that we're destroying the Earth as it is, it's going to be... I'll probably be dead before that. Because with all these weird, wacky weathers, like tornadoes already in November... What was it? December. The horrible forest fires that California had, these powerful hurricanes. I can't really say that humans are going to beat all these storms, these wildfires, things like that. Mother Nature's going to take us out. If it's not going to be Mother Nature, it's going to be the intelligence, artificial intelligence. But I don't want to think that far ahead. I can't even figure out what I'm going to do for supper tonight. But I would love to go to Mars. I would love to see it. There's just a few things that are going to be out of my league, and I'm pretty sure I will not be able to. But I'd love to be the first person to broadcast live from Mars. That would be a dream. But at the same time, I hate heights. I suck at gravity. You're probably thinking, why do you suck at gravity? Oh, trust me, gravity hates me. I can trip, fall, boom. One day I was putting on my shoe, tree hitting the floor. Haha. Yeah. But otherwise, Jim, I'm not going to Mars. Maybe one of my distant kids, grandkids, great-great-great-great-great-great-grandkids might. But this old man ain't moving. Plus, besides, there's tons of things on Earth that is just absolutely beautiful. And I feel that with it, I want to explore. Like, I want to go back out to BC. I want to go to the west or the east coast, visit the Atlantic provinces. I want to go to southern Ontario, visit Cookie, and maybe bring out a show of Cooking the Coffee Man once again. So anything's a possibility. Anything's open for anything. Another question that I received a couple days ago was from the Amish Baby Pop Culture Podcast. Just do a Google search for Amish Baby Machine. You'll find them. Great bunch of guys. They tend to talk a little bit retro because, you know, Amish. Finger quotes, Amish. And they asked me your thoughts on the idea of less comic book movies and more movies geared towards adults, less remakes and reboots, etc. Okay. Very, very good question. And first you have to kind of break it down. And I totally understand where they're coming from with the comics, them making all these comic books like from DC and Marvel, trying to make bucks off of it. Reason? The originality that it has. Yes, you know, Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, Green Lantern, Lex Luthor, all that other thing. Like, we know the stories about them, so they can basically throw a movie together, bring it in, and anybody who loves comics are going to go see it. Which I can understand. You make the money when you can. Then once the wells are basically tapped, you back off, you wait till it fills up again, then you turn the taps back on. But the problem with your next question, more movies geared towards adults. If you want to get technical, the issue that we have today as a society is we have tapped in so many different ideas for movies. We're running out of original content. That's the reason why you see more of the remakes and reboots from movies from the 90s and the 80s. Even if you go back to the 70s, 80s, take a look at the dollar bin. There are tons of great movies there that the idea and the concept have been put. If somebody doesn't know about it, they do the exact same thing without realizing that the movie's already been done. It's copy infringement. So, sum it up. They can pump out comic book movies left, right, everything like that. They can get creative. They can create an atmosphere. But when it becomes original movies, we're running out of ideas, dude. There's no doubt about it. Even if you take a look at The Simpsons, with The Simpsons being as long as they are, starting in the late 80s to now, The Simpsons ideas, TV show, is stuck within Springfield. Then, of course, they ventured out, but I watched a newer episode of The Simpsons, and with The Simpsons, it got to the point where they're running out of ideas of trying to stay within Springfield, that they're taking ideas from everyday problems, sucking them in, and putting into the TV show. Like, they had something about like Apple computers, Apple, like iTunes, things like that. Lisa downloaded a bunch of music, got her bill, it was like $5,000. That's happened to everybody. And that's what I mean. Everybody's running out of original content, that they're trying to tap into other things out there. South Park, they ran out of ideas, so they started attacking everyday things. Brilliant show. Kind of rated R, but brilliant show. You only can do something for so long before it just gets boring. So if your tap runs dry, either you wait for it to refill, or you go tap another well and try to get the purest, cleanest water out of it. I'm not even sure what the future's going to bring when it comes to originality, movies, TV shows. And it sucks that people are getting so used to CGI. Any little bloop on the CGI side, and it's instant trash. If it's not to people's standards, where our standards have risen so high, it's a fail. Like, if you take a look at what we used to watch back in the 80s and the 90s compared to today, like, you had Perfect Stranger, Full House, Boy Meets World. Then you take a look at today, Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, Mad Men, The Americans. There's no way in hell that the TV shows back then can compete with the TV shows of today. No frickin' way. Ooh, wide load. So, yeah, originality. Dad. Even a joke. Okay. My last point, all right? If you say a joke right now that came off the top of your head, you've never heard it before, that joke is old. If you do a search on the internet, that joke has been probably told like 10 years ago. Nothing's original anymore. People recycle things way too much. That's the problem. Like I noticed this one time on Rant and Rave for my hometown, somebody posted something, and of course, recycled joke. But you have forgotten that Al Bundy ran for blank blank yards and had blank blank touchdowns. Shut up! That's not funny. If you want to see funny, I'll show you funny by pulling down. Never mind, I'm just gonna stop now. Oh, I think my show's getting away from me. It's almost like the Uncle Show and Coffee Time with the Coffee Man are combining to be the Blitz morning show, but I don't want it to be like that. That's not me. That's not my show. Picking my nose. All right, well, that wraps up Question Call, sponsored by QC Indy, right here on the Blitz Morning Show. Oh. Holy crap, are those power lines hanging low. Does the power lines hang low? Does it wobble to and fro? Does it touch your crop? Does it swing when the wind blows? I don't know. Anyway, I better let you guys go. I'm almost to my destination. I'm pretty sure you guys are getting sick of my blabbering. But meanwhile, if you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, you can email us at theblitzmorningshow@gmail.com. You can hit me up on Twitter at coffeeman_radio. Follow us on Facebook. Just do a search for The Blitz Morning Show. And let's get a poppin', rockin', and everything sockin'. If you have any questions for me to answer for next Monday, just shoot me a... Holy crap. Shoot me a message, and I'll read it out loud. And I'll bug Kim for more questions next week. I promise you that. All right. But I'd like to thank Jim Mallard and the Amish Baby Machine podcast for sending me those 2 questions. Very good questions. Horrible answers, but I kept you entertained. And that's all that remains. Come for the show. Stay for the personality. My name's Toby Brendel, and I will see you this coming Wednesday. And enjoy your beautiful Monday.
Stop talking!
And...
Thank you. Goodbye.